Howdy y'all, Tahega here, and welcome to another adventure! We are continuing in Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker! We have, gone into the very distant past to the research facility known as Elpis, the name of the flower, and we have discovered what Akasha was called back in the day. I already forgot its name, it begins with a D. But, we discovered that is a form of energy that actually composes a majority of the energy in the universe. It's kind of like dark energy in our universe, or dark matter rather. So it comprises over 60% of all energies in the known world, but it can never be accessed. It's inaccessible because it is inferior to ether. So we have basically learned that the reason why people are turning into these monsters that are powered by this emotion energy Akasha is because celestial ether and all other ether is being diverted away from a set area. Take Raza Han, for example. So in Raza Han, the celestial ether in that area weakened to such a degree that Akasha could manifest. So it manifested in the first person, which was Khalzal at that point, and it started triggering a series of events. It caused fear, panic, despair, lots of negative emotions, which would then turn more people into monsters and so on and so forth, blasphemies as they call them. And that is because of this emotion energy, which again is normally in check because it is always kept below regular ether. So Hermes here is kind of like a professional on that. He actually created Meteon to be the first self-aware creature built out of Akasha. That's why she has such little ether that Hythlodaeus could see. And he also explained the flowers, that the only reason they really found any tangible evidence of this sort of energy, emotion energy, was because of the serendipitous creation of the Elpis flower in the research facility of Elpis. That's why it's called what it's called. So now we're going to talk to Hermes because we have just gone through a series of events with creatures throughout the research facility where he would do anything in his power to save the creature and give them a second chance at life. But now he has just learned that there is a creature, I think it's called a Lycan, whatever, that is killing other creatures even after it's had its memory reworked, because apparently he has a tool to rework memory. That's probably going to be important later. So he has something on his mind. He wants to look at the research paper and try one more thing before they basically delete this creation and preserve its data to try to create it again later. So let's talk to Hermes and see what's going on. I fear this discussion may take a while, during which time... Meteon, are you feeling unwell? It's not me, Hermes, it's you. I won't go to the meeting. I'll stay with Tahega. Loath though I am imposed, may I leave Metron in your care again? Okay, I got it. I am in your debt, if you'll excuse me. Bye, Hermes. Okay, Meteon. Can you help me with something, Tahega? The meeting will make Hermes sad. I want to cheer him up with a flower. Hermes likes flowers the most, all of the creations in Elpis. Most creations are expected to be interesting, or beautiful, or strong. Better, in some way. But flowers are different. They're designed to suit our emotions, what we feel and want to convey. Hermes likes that. I can't make flowers, so I'll search for one, and I want you to search with me. Let's start here at the 12 Wonders. Okay, let's search for flowers. Oh, here's some pretty flowers. Tree in bloom. How about this? Pretty purple flowers for Hermes. Vibrant purple flowers bigger than your hands. Adore the tree. Ooh, so big and bright. I love them, but they might be too bright. You have to think of the recipient. That's what Hermes said. Okay, so if that one doesn't work out... Oh, excuse me. Much smaller flowers. Hey, Medium, what about these smaller flowers? No flowers. If they were apples, we could have covered them in syrup. Let's head outside next. Don't worry, we won't wander far. Okay. Let's see what's this way. Oh, your little tail is so cute. Oh, flower bed. Is there anything in here that Hermes might like? An array of beautiful flowers grows in the bed, their mix of colors forming a pattern. These would be better for Hermes, but they've hedged in. This means we shouldn't touch them, either under observation or poisonous. Any other place should be fine, though. Let's keep looking. Why don't we just get him an Elpis? He really likes Elpis. This is an evil plan. I don't think this plant's a good idea. Set on a tall, thin stalk, the oddly shaped flower is memorizing. Oh, a conion, a flower that can move. When Hermes wasn't looking, it shot seeds at him. Not a good gift, maybe. But you're good, Taheka, at spotting flowers. We'll find something soon. These are hedged in, so these are under observation or poisonous. I'm telling you, let's just give him an Elpis. Junction. Which way should we go? You spy nothing promising. At best, common-looking grasses and a tiny few flowers. Nothing around here. Ah! Over there, Taheka, something big, huge. The exclamation point? Melodious grass. You do realize that is an Uchu. Don't come after me, bro. A terrible stench reminiscent of soddening old boots perverts the air. Without a doubt, the cobra is a marble-like creature before you. It's an Adonis. These things in its mouth look like petals, but the flowers are on the orbs of the head. When Hermes inspected it, it swallowed him up. He didn't leave his room for days. What do you think, Taheka? Would he like it? It's probably not the good sort of memory. It's not this one either. Finding a good flower is harder than I thought. I'm sorry, Taheka, but could we search a little more? Maybe as far as the fields over there. I'll pick something after that, I promise. Let's just get him an Elpis. Excuse me. Lush field. Ooh! I see that over there. It's gonna be a cutscene, I bet. Oh no. Lush green fields stretch out before you, ending where the sky begins. Aw, there's nothing. That shiny thing over there, what could it be? Actually, we're gonna go over here first, my lady. Object. It's an Elpis. Ooh, Elpis flowers, they're here too. Hermes likes and dislikes them at the same time. Like me, they're entelecchies. Like me, they feel his pain and turn dark. That's only for Hermes though, for others always white and bright. Why don't we give him an Elpis? Truly? The flower is dark in your home? Then do you have it too, a dark emotion? I've known the pain of sorrow and loss. I felt great fury and frustration. I have been plagued by doubt and anxiety. I dare say I have a few. All of these, I dare say I have a few. You don't have to say it. I can feel it's something you want to hide. But won't you lend it to me? The darkness inside you? I want you to make the flower dark. In front of Hermes. He has been in a dark place since before he created me. He needs to know that he isn't there alone, that others are sad too. Okay, I can be sad around a flower. Truly, you'll do it? Yeah, okay. Thank you, Dakin, thank you. It means more than you can say. I can't wait to see how Hermes reacts. Let's go back and fetch him. So she wants me to be sad around the flower to prove to Hermes that he is not the only one with sadness. She's trying. Hey, Medion. It seems they're still talking. Let's wait until they're finished. We're waiting. We waited all night. Aww.
Hermes!
Oh, you were waiting for me.
You've finished talking?
Excuse me.
Yes, we've come to a decision.
We're gonna erase them.
My thanks for keeping Meteon company. Emmett Selk and Hythlodaeus have already retired to their rooms. There is room for you too, if you would follow me.
Wait! I want to show you something first.
You sure you're not alone? I'm gonna make the flower change color. Excuse me.
Elpis flowers?
Go on.
I can make them change too.
You're not the only one, Hermes. Others feel sad too. You're not alone.
I see Meteon has shared much with you.
Ah. Does he look like Acai?
May we talk a moment?
Kinda. Ah. Hi.
I do not think it wrong that we live for the star, that we strive to make it a better place. And yet, in carrying out my duties here, there are times when I am plagued by doubt. Do you recall what Hythlodaeus said when we first spoke of my nomination? Death is the privilege of those who have fulfilled their purpose, a choice they embrace of their own free will, and when they depart, it is always beautiful. Perhaps it is, but only for man. Creations that he deems useless are discarded with nary a second thought. Some scarcely born into the world, afforded a handful of breaths before life and potential are abruptly extinguished. We make an effort to spare them the pain. They sense what awaits. Rage and anguish and cower and fear. And it is not beautiful.
Aw.
Yet no one cares. No one.
He sees the creatures fight for life, even though man willingly takes
So
death.
fixated are we upon the duty that we do not pause to question the method. Pain and suffering, confusion and despair, writ plain in the eyes of those poor creatures.
Feels
Yet no
bad.
one sees. We turn a blind eye and carry on in blissful ignorance. Naught amiss. And always, always the blossoms shine pure and white. A contradiction so blatant I could scream, want to scream. How can you all accept this aberration? Then I wonder, am I the aberration for thinking thus? And I am filled with dread.
Aww.
But now I know I'm not alone. Not the only one for whom the flowers weep. Owen asked what you thought as he kneeled beside the Elpis, or if he only did it at Meteon's insistence. Nevertheless, I thank you.
Sure he's not alone.
To know that you too have experienced suffering is a comfort.
It's not something his people are used to experiencing. Glad I could be of service. Let's have no more brooding, eh? Or I could tell you all about suffering. Let's have no more brooding, eh?
Indeed. Difficult though it may be, I must endeavor to be strong like you. The stars in the heavens. Know you what they are?
No.
Though it is too far to tell, each glittering light could be a world not unlike Aetheris. A world filled with life. So many stars, so many lives. For us, there may be no higher purpose than to live for our world. But what of the other living beings out there? What is it that gives their lives meaning? That drives them day after day after day? To pose that question to our undiscovered cousins, I created beings of dynamis, who can traverse the vast emptiness between the stars. Meteon and her sisters.
She has sisters?
Aye, sisters.
I love
She
how
has
you
a
can
great
answer
many
it.
of them, and they have already departed on their journey, traveling to one star and then the next in search of life.
Meteon isn't the first
As
one
one
he's
might
made.
expect, exploration on such a grand scale is rife with difficulties, and thus far I've naught to show for it.
So
But
you
I
can
have
other
faith
hers.
that we will make some manner of discovery ere long. And when we do, I should be glad to share our findings with you, in gratitude for your kindness.
You went searching for other worlds without telling the architect
It's
board.
getting rather late. We had best find our beds. It would not do for both of us to be sleep-deprived on the morrow. Come, Meteon. Let us head back.
All right.
So there are other hers. What is it? Meteon? There was something up there. Well, good morning, everyone. Hydralius? Are you able to get some rest? Please do not hesitate to let us know if you're feeling tired, or we might exhaust your scarce resource of ether. The prodigal familiar returns, and after causing all manner of trouble while we were in our meeting, I am sure. I did good, thank you. I'm glad Hermes saw the flowers. Thank you, Tahika. It will help, I hope. Today will be difficult for him. They're gonna end the life of those monsters. An all too brief interlude, perhaps, but it's time I attend to my next task. As Emetselk and Hydralius are aware, we reached a verdict regarding the fate of the Lycanos. 7 were created for observation, and all 7 must be unmade. Duros has followed the correct protocols, and as chief overseer, I find no fault in his judgment. Blaconius would disrupt the natural order, ravaging and consuming other species until themselves starved and perished. They cannot be released into the wild. They cannot be allowed to remain here in Elpis. I intend to petition the Bureau of Architect to have the concept preserved as a restricted purpose hazard life form. Hythloides has pledged to support me in the endeavor. Yet whatever the Bureau decides, the existing Laconis has served their purpose. Doros has already isolated the creatures and preparing to carry out the necessary measures. I will join him forthwith. It is my duty to witness the conclusion to this study. If you are resolved, then we have but to accompany you. He's gonna end them. Of course, let's be off. Return to the main aisle. Aww, he needs to end them. He needs to end them. That's so sad. The one thing he understands, these creatures feel fear. And maybe that's why they never discovered Akasha. Because they never had to feel that emotion of fear and such, you know? The first time they really felt fear was during the final days. And that's when they started to create those abominations. Let's see. Are these the creatures? They're like Fenrir's. Aww. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 here. Where are the other 3? He said there were 7. Doris, are you hurt? What happened? They caught me off guard. I had them bound with ethereal shackles, but they became frenzied, even more so than usual, and broke free. I was able to stop 4, but the 3 others escaped. I see them. 2 have been taken to the air above the 12 wonders. The last is up ahead, lurking in the fields. You and Tehiko handle that one. The pair in the sky. You can leave to me. If this is how it must end, then so be it. I'll render assistance to Emet-Selch, unneeded though it is. Midian, you stay here. Midian, you're to stay here with Doros. But Hermes! The Lycians must be reverted. I will spare you the pain and mine. This is my burden, not yours, but if you're intent to help, then please follow my lead. Okay, so we have to find this thing and end it. So she has sisters. He's already sent them off to the stars. And they only know of her, think that she's some sort of experiment. But in reality, there are multiple ones of her. But they've already been sent off to the stars. Hi, Hermes. Gonna sneak up on it? I appreciate your help and lament that it is necessary. There it is, our quarry. Within striking distance at present, but it feels threatened. It may well flee beyond our reach. Here is my plan. You will approach it slowly in full view and draw the Lycan's attention. Now I warn you, its abilities are as fiery as its temperament. Once it spots you, it will unleash orbs of flame. But fear not. By my measure, you are more than equal to the task. Withstand the onslaught for a few brief moments and I'll give me time to catch it unawares. Ready? Let us begin. Am I supposed to fight it? I guess I am. time now, Hermes. Hermes. Stand in front of the lichen and keep its attention.
Now.
Oh, look at his staff. It's like the medicine symbol, like for doctors. Oh, he was a white mage. I'm so sorry, my friend.
Forgive me. Please, forgive me.
It was.
May you and your kin find peace. Wherever your souls may drift in the underworld, may you find tranquil seas. Be not forgotten, in concept endure, to reclaim form and one day live again. Serve not the star, or any purpose save your own. Live again, if that be your desire.
And he unmade it.
Hate, if that be your want. We are worthy. But leave your suffering behind.
Aww.
Lay down your burdens, be born anew. Fly high. Fly free.
He unmade it. Return back to the ether once it came.
Join the convocation, Hermes. You do not belong here.
Leave to replace another. To be replaced. It changes nothing. Tell me, do you think it right that we sacrifice all these lives for the sake of the star? And when the star has reached perfection, what then? If all who are satisfied choose to die, shall we all die in satisfaction?
He won't do it. He won't accept the seat.
I do not know.
But he does accept
Were
the
I
seat.
to take up the seat of Fandaniel, it would be tantamount to approving my predecessor's death.
Yeah.
I do not know if it is right. And to be torn by such thoughts, I do not know if I am fit to represent mankind.
You have such a kind heart, you are.
Hermes! Please don't be angry. It hurts so.
Forgive me. If you would still consider me in spite of everything, I beg some time to gather my thoughts. Meanwhile, Hythlodaeus, I fear I must trouble you to attend to the others.
I'll do it.
'Tis no trouble at all. Take as long as you require.
So he will accept the role of Findaniel.
And you, my friend, I pray you find that which you seek.
I think I already did. Thank you. How do I get back home?
expect we have some few matters to discuss. Shall we return to the 12 Wonders for a time?
Okay.
Aye.
Can I follow you? I guess I can. So... Oh, my foot's asleep. I mean, he does accept his role. It has been quite an exciting visit for us thus far. Oh, you weren't injured, were you? Good, good. Hello, Emmett. The other Lycans have been taken care of. The incident is resolved, and life in Elpis continues as normal. Or ends, as the case may be. Rationally speaking, I understand Hermes' argument. No matter how well-deserved the rest, there is a pang of sadness when a colleague leaves us. Yet never has a departure caused me such grief as Hermes appears to feel. What it must be like to experience such torment. You don't want to know, Emmett. Oh my god, you're going to experience it for hundreds and hundreds of years. For lifetimes upon lifetimes. You do not want to know what he feels. You will, but you don't want to. Where to now? If there is anywhere you would like to visit before we leave, I should be glad to show you the way. Hermes has not yet outright refused his position of the convocation, merely postponed the decision. As such, I may as well resume my assessment. If we cannot accompany him, then I will content myself with questioning his colleagues. Ever the pragmatist? Then allow me to remain your humble guide. And what of you, Teika? Will you be coming along with us? Yes. Wonderful! Our fellowship travels on unbroken. I say we explore another part of Elpis and see what new encounters there have to be had. If you would follow me, we'll first head back toward Anagoras and Anog. To Anog. Emmett? Didn't we part ways with Hermes not far from here? Given the size of Elpis, I expect our paths will cross again before long. Hythlodaeus? From here, we follow the path northwards, to Natonius. There we will find one of the news, which facilitate travels between the islands of Elpis. First-time travelers must be accompanied by someone with the requisite permission, which I have previously been granted. We only need use of the device together once, and henceforth we be able to leave. Will you have leave to use it freely? Shall we? Okay. So that's the thing that got killed. Oh. That was really sad. He has such a deep connection with these creatures that are created, and he's gonna have to leave it all to join the convocation, and he never comes back to it because the world ends. The world literally ends when he's in office. It means the world's gonna end soon. The world's gonna end soon. That's sad. Oh, it's just an etherite. Emmett? Unless the need is pressing, I won't be tracking Hermes with my ethereal sight. 'Tis poor manners to spy on someone's comings and goings in such a fashion. So don't ask. Social conventions notwithstanding, perceiving ether requires deliberate and intense concentration. We otherwise keep our eyes on the corporeal world. Here we are, Notorious. The news will take us to Calamelios Zephyos, the western island. That's it right there, looming large over us. Step this way and we can soon admire the view from above. So I can finally get that ether current that keeps pinging on my compass. Hello. Yoink, yoink, yoink.
I present to you Calamelios Zephyros. Here you will find a number of testing facilities, as well as the observation hub of Poiton Oikos. Right then. Let's begin by...
It's a Spriggan!
Well, well. An Arrhaeus. How delightful.
Oh, it's Sharkman.
And what, pray tell, is that?
Sharkman!
Ah, that's a new species of shark. We approved the concept but a few days ago. Sharks are among the most popular sea creatures. Rare is the day when someone does not submit a new concept. At first, they were largely orthodox, consideration given to such things as size and environmental impact, and then a whimsical someone thought to bestow it with flight, another superior intelligence. And then the floodgates burst. Concepts with multiple heads, or arms and legs, and so on and so forth. It was getting absurd. A part of me wanted to tell them to go away and find something else to create, but in the end, I couldn't deny their passion. And here we are.
Oh no! Okay. I missed it. It's Heidelin!
That was too close. Are you unharmed? Well now, if it isn't a pair of familiar faces.
It's Heidelin!
Venat, that we should meet you here.
That's the one who became the heart of Heidelin.
As I mentioned earlier, the better part of the convocation holds that when we retire is when we return to the star. Well, she is not among said majority. Even after stepping down, she carries on with her work. Venat is her name, and she is the previous Azem.
I took the spot from her?
It has been a while, Hythlodaeus. You look well. Less so, Emmet Selk. I dare say the lines upon your brow have both deepened and doubled in number. A shame for one so young. You must make an effort to frown less often.
Easier said than done, thanks to your unruly successor.
That's me. I'm the
How is
successor.
she, if I may ask?
Incorrigible as ever. Rushed headlong into a volcano on the brink of eruption just the other day. I should be glad to share the tale in its entirety later, if you're so inclined.
Oh, you know I am.
So she becomes the heart of Heidelin.
Now then, you are?
Your humble servant? Can you see me too, my true self?
I say, have you perchance come from the future?
How did she know?
I do not believe we have ever met, yet I sense my magic upon you.
Because you gave me your blessing, the blessing of light.
Therefore, if I wove the enchantment, I could only have done so at a later point in time.
What manner of magic is this, if I may ask?
A traveler's ward, of course. It prevents the corruption of one's ether.
It's the blessing of light. It sounds rather like the blessing of light, or does it protect you from the enthrallment of primals by any chance? They don't know what a primal is yet. They've never summoned one. I really don't know what to pick, because I'm supposed to, like, not change history. Sounds like the blessing of light, or does it protect you from being enthralled by chance? Sounds like the blessing of light.
I see you are not ignorant to its presence. And while there are many protective spells, the one you bear is unmistakably mine.
Let me do something real quick. Hold on. That's better. Okay, let's keep going.
Hold on. From the future? That's absurd.
Not really.
What is it? Are you unable to speak of the matter?
I'm not allowed to, because I'm not allowed to change history.
The reality to which you must return exists as a result of the final days. You cannot reshape the past to undo the tragedies of the present.
I gotta keep my mouth shut. These people have to die.
So, your actions here will not change your history, but they may yet affect the course of ours. How very exciting. I'm quite fond of delving into the unknown, and there's naught more unknown than the future. Until a moment finally arrives, we cannot know for certain what will come to pass, regardless of our supposed foreknowledge, so you needn't worry for us. More importantly, that you should go to such great lengths as to travel unto the past bespeaks the gravity of your quest. Will you not reveal it to us? Mayhap we can be of aid to your cause.
No, because you guys still have to fall to the final days. I have to keep my mouth shut.
If this is true, then you've been keeping quite the secret to yourself.
Well, thank you, Anna.
As a representative of the Convocation, I will hear it all. Your identity, purpose, everything.
Really?
Why don't we move to a place more conducive to calm conversation? I've been working here for some days now at an old friend's behest. If it is agreeable, we may make use of my accommodation at Poiton Oikos.
Okay. Can't say anything though.
We were meant to meet. I am certain of it. Else I wouldn't have marked you so clearly, and sent you unto myself in the past. It's precisely the sort of mischief I would get up to, and quite inspired, if I do say so myself.
Here's the thing, you didn't send me to the past. Elizabeth sent me to the past. So, Venat... I can't attune to that. Hi, Emmett. I thought you were a harmless stray familiar. As far as I'm concerned, the nebulous talk of future this and changing history, that can wait. First, I must find out exactly who you are and what you hope to achieve. Ethodius? The future, our future. I am deadly curious to hear more. Yeah, you die. You die. My apologies. Before I move along, a colleague has asked me with a matter which I'd rather not leave unresolved. It involves finding a certain concept of engraved crystal, and a quick-fingered Aureus has made use off with it. An Aureus, you say? I think we might have seen the cobra before being distracted by that business with the shark. Would you like us to follow its astral trail? That would, of course, lead us only to the Orioles. That is not guaranteed the one that hasn't stashed the crystal away. Please, even that would be enormously helpful. While you're hunting down the thief, I can follow behind and scour the forest floor, just in case. Could I ask you to join the search? I would appreciate another pair of eyes to cover the land to the west. Okay. Many thanks. There's a small bridge leading to Point Oikos. Let us meet up there once we've exhausted our efforts. So, ooh. What is that thing? Wow. Oh. Oh my. I'm trying to find this little guy. Where is he? Oh. Found the crystal. Okay, let's go back to this new town. So I took the sea after Heidelin. Well, after Venat. Because Venat is Heidelin. Excuse me, come through. Yeah, I know, I ran right past you guys. Let me go to the other side so it looks like I'm coming from a normal side. Okay, Emmett? The problem you present is vexing enough without adding the old asm into the question. Ay, and she wonders why these line up my brows grow so deep, when she finds herself a hammer and chisel. The asms, both mentor and student, are forced to be reckoned with. I find them a delight, personally, but they give a habit of making Emmett Selk look as if he's a bit down on a sour grape. Well, Venat. Our last searcher returns. I am afraid the Aureus no longer had the crystal, nor was able to find it, as I followed in its wake. I don't suppose you fared any better? Here's your crystal. The crystal, well done. Wonderful, now I can focus on your tale without that missing concept nagging my mind. Have you always had a knack for finding things? Traveling and searching go hand in hand. You travel often then, it seems we have something in common. Long ago, when I held the seat of Azam, I was forever trekking back and forth across the star in search of answers to people's problems. Naturally, the need for such journeys has lessened considerably since I entrusted the position to my whimsical successor. Yet I am still eager to come running, should an old acquaintance or new interest require my personal attention. That is what brings me to Elpis, in fact. Many times since my presence been requested, my opinion sought concerning the habitat of this or that creation. Agreeing to help locate the missing crystal was a minor distraction, which now promises to become a major revelation. How strange and wonderful it is, the way that things lead to one another. Wouldn't you agree? I want to figure out more about Venat. Okay, yeah, let's just do it. Thank you again for your timely help. Now then, 'tis time I return to the stolen property. If you would go ahead to my accommodation, I will join you as soon as I have attended my task. Follow the path straight ahead to the building at the top. I have the entire place to myself, so speak without fear of being disturbed or overheard. So am I going to tell them the truth? Because I can't. If I tell them the truth, it might undo the final days. And if I undo the final days, whoops. Because if I undo the final days, my future doesn't happen. It's like when we undid the calamity of the Black Rose. That's not allowed. Hyppolidius? You needn't be nervous about Venat. Those white robes mark her as one of fair and impartial reasoning. Aside from the emissary, Elidibus' such garb is worn only by those who have stepped down from public office to serve as advisors. Whatever you have to say, she will listen without judgment. But Elizabeth was a child, that's why his is white. So Elidibus stepped down. Yes, this is far more comfortable than hearing you on the side of the road. Welcome to my temporary abode. Please make yourself at home while I put on some tea. Mama Heidi is serving me tea! Do I tell them the truth?
Ah, a wonderful aroma. I feel more relaxed already.
Would that I had sweetmeats to offer, but I travel light out of habit. There's plenty of hot water though, so please have as much tea as you like. Now then, will you tell us your tale?
Am I allowed to? I can't. I can't. A calamity called the final days has befallen the world. The world has been sundered and broken into shards, or mankind is being forced to flee the star. Oh, no, but I can't. I don't want to tell them about the sundering. Because maybe they'll make Zodiac unsunderable. Mankind is being forced to flee the star. A calamity called the final days has befallen our world.
Why don't you start from the beginning?
Oh, wrong picture, sorry. Thought it was still on me. I'm telling them everything. But won't this change history? Mama Heidi. She becomes the Heart of Highland. Battle with Hades. Oh, Amarok. I killed Zodiark, and I saw the world burn. And now it started the final days. You guys wanted to hear the truth. There's your truth.
Preposterous. Utterly preposterous.
While not the words I would have chosen, I too have my doubts. Much of it borders on the incredulous.
It's true.
What of you, Venat?
It's true.
Not knowing the precise details of the first final days, it is difficult to determine the veracity of the tale. Supposing it is all true, I must ask myself why I would do what I did. Why would I feel I had no recourse but to oppose the 14 and create this Hydaelyn? Circumstances change, of course, but it would not have been an easy decision regardless. No, there must have been a reason. One compelling enough to force me to take such drastic measures.
I just changed history.
Then there is the Elpis flower, which I said would serve as a guide. That it's of import to your mission is plain, but your presence here leads me to believe that this place also holds significance. But what could it be? What are we meant to accomplish?
Might it not be simply thus? In the future, whence she came, the final days could not be averted. Mankind has no choice but to flee the star. By alerting us to that eventuality, perhaps you wish to pave the way for other futures.
Theoretically speaking, it is a possibility. Yet if that were my primary objective, I see no reason to guide our friend to Elpis specifically. The capital and Amarot, or even my own home would be more logical destinations.
It's because the three of you are here.
True, true. I note also that Hydaelyn did not specify a point in time to which she must return. By this, it may be inferred that it was not critical that we should meet.
Alternately, she had reason to believe that our paths would converge, coincidental though it may seem.
This is quite a puzzle, and we do not have all the pieces.
Hardly any. But we do have one immutable fact.
Final days are coming.
If the final days are indeed as described, they will bring death to all that I hold dear. Yet despite being afforded long years of preparation, the only provisions I could make were for flight. Nay, my first and foremost endeavor would be to find a way to forestall the coming doom.
Given that
Except you
even
don't.
the 14 failed, mayhap you deemed it impossible.
Nothing is impossible. This I have always believed. And if Hydaelyn is indeed me, she would believe the same.
Or did she, though?
Listen to yourself. Are you seriously entertaining the notion that you are a messianic figure in some far-fetched tale?
And that you're the villain?
Well, I will not. I refuse to accept that our world could be undone by some unforeseen calamity. I also take offense to my portrayal as a megalomaniacal madman.
Well, that's
To
the truth.
sacrifice oneself for the star is a noble act, and I would hold those who gave themselves to this zodiac in the highest esteem. Yet, you claim I recreated Amarot and populated it with phantoms of our people? A bizarre indulgence that would be insulting to their memory.
You were lonely.
Worse still, I even invited you there. Literally invited my own downfall. Why would I do something so idiotic and inexplicable?
You were lonely.
Now, I will allow that the hypothetical task of restoring our world would be daunting in the extreme. The thought of having to bear such a burden for 1,000 lives horrifies me. But I would never forsake my duty. I would never forsake my brethren.
You didn't until I killed you in the end. He said, remember us, remember that we
You
went...
do not know me.
I feel like
I've
I
had
do.
my fill of your fiction.
I will return to my duty, and you will not bother me again.
You say that, but I'll see you in a few thousands years.
Emmett Selk, wait!
It's the truth. Truth
You've
hurts.
seen much of Elpis already. If you have any observations to share, I should like to hear them.
Dynamis is key to all this. Hermes and Medion are somehow involved. Still trying to make sense of it all. Dynamis is the key to everything because the whole thing with Hermes and Medion is Dynamis. He made Medion out of Dynamis and sent his sisters out. The magics that's making people transform, Dynamis. The lack of ether, Dynamis. Dynamis is the key to all of this. Akasha.
Ah yes, the energy distinct from ether. Though not my field, I have a basic understanding of Dynamis. And you say Hermes researched the phenomenon in the course of creating Meteon? Yes, I believe this warrants further investigation. With that settled, tis time for action.
Okay, Mama
The
Heidi.
missing pieces of the puzzle are here, I'm certain of it. And when you find them, the picture my future self has painted will be complete, and you will have your answer. Now suffice it to say, I will aid you in your quest.
So there's another future where they're not going to die from the final days, it sounds like.
Have faith. If Emmet Selk is the man Azam described to me, we've not seen the last of him.
Oh no, trust me, I meet him again in the future. So did I just alter history by telling them the truth? Hold on. Did I literally just alter history by telling them exactly what happened? I told them about the sundering of their star. I told them about how they summoned Zodiac. I told them about how she became Hylian and sundered them. I told them about all the events in all of the games. I told them about how Emmett went mad and created a phantom Amara. I told them how Hythlodaeus died. I told them about the moon and how we're going to escape. I told them about Finn Daniel going crazy and how I killed Zodiac. I literally told them everything. When Elizabeth specifically told me not to do that because I'm not supposed to change the past, the final days have to happen for me to return to my future. So does this mean when I return, I'm still returning to my future of the final days? And that there's another future where they're going to survive the final, because now they know about it. Because I'm trying to think with the Crystal Tower. I guess technically that timeline still happened. So there was a timeline where I died to Black Rose. Years pass. That 8th Umbral Calamity happened. They woke up Grahatia, put him with the tower to time travel. Not to time travel and travel from worlds to the first during the Flood of Light. So technically, if we're going back to the future time travel theory here, we had the timeline of the Black Rose, and I die. Blech, dead, right? So then you have the regular timeline going, where they wake up Grahatia and he vanishes, and then it's just the end of the world continuing. But then you have the branch off timeline, where Grahatia goes to the first in the past. We stop the 8th Umbral Calamity, and that is my new future. So we're going back to the future rules here. So same concept. If we're going through time right now, and we are at the point of the first final days, right? You have the normal timeline of the final days, where everyone dies. Hydaelyn and Zodiark duke it out. Hydaelyn wins, sunders him, and it starts our timeline. But I jumped back in time before those final days. So the final days haven't happened yet. Now they know the truth of the final days. So in this new timeline, will it branch off the other way, in which they stop the final days and the world is not sundered? So that means in this timeline, there are no 13 additional shards, and in this timeline, there are the remaining shards that haven't been absorbed back to the source. So when I go back to the future from here, will I go to my original future where the final days are currently happening? Or will I go to the new future where the final days never happened? Because if we're going off the Crystal Tower theory, when I went... But it's not really me going to the first. So my timeline, I still stay in the same linear timeline. Because in my timeline, I was teleported to the first. In Grahatia's timeline, he lived 2 timelines. So my timeline with the Crystal Tower, I never changed time. Because he took me to the first. And that continued linearly for me. But for him, Black Rose happened. They woke him up in the tower. He time traveled out of there to an entirely different world and to the past. So that way he could pull me. I don't know. This time travel stuff is confusing. Ugh. But that's it for now. I think I just altered history. But we're going to find out. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye-bye!